What is up guys, it's your boy Swole. I'm here, back with another Classic WoW video for the fresh Classic WoW servers. Now today we are talking about botting in Classic WoW, and specifically botting on the fresh Classic WoW servers. And we're also talking about botting in the hardcore servers, by the way, because trust me, botting on hardcore might even be even worse than botting on the regular PvE or the PvP servers, or at least it's equally as bad in terms of how intrusive it is and how many bots you actually see roaming around well in the open world and pretty much everywhere else. So let's talk about botting. We have a video we're reacting to here as well. Before that, I want to talk about my experience like so far seeing botting in the fresh servers, and let me tell you this, I'm playing on the PvE server, right, and the hardcore server, and I've seen bots on two of them, on both, there we go, both servers, both on the hardcore server and on the PvE server, and you see them everywhere, by the way. Let's talk about the PvE server first. You even see them at vendors in Stormwind where they are sniping certain recipes, like for example there's a recipe sold by the alchemy vendor over here on a limited supply, and we have bots camping that recipe, and they're using a script to buy that recipe, so when the second that recipe pops up, they instantly buy it. So they are botting plus using auto-clickers to get those recipes. And I know this because I've been trying to get a recipe in Winterspring, and the second, like you will see this, the split second the recipe becomes available, it is instantly bought out, and you have about 3 different players sitting at these NPCs all the time. I will log on at 12 PM, they are there, 3 PM they are still there, 6 PM they're there, 9 PM, midnight, you name it. Any time of the day I log on, those same 3 characters are standing at this recipe vendor 24/7. That's Kia, by the way, in Winterspring. She sells the Mooncloth recipe, which is not on a limited supply, but she also sells the Runecloth gloves. The Mooncloth one is the first one, right, not on limited supply. The Runecloth gloves is a limited supply, and it goes for about 1 gold, I think, from the vendor, and 10 gold on the auction house. And then you have the Runecloth bag, which is also a limited recipe, that goes for like 1 gold from the recipe, from the vendor, and then goes for about 30 gold on the auction house. So any bot that is just sitting here, they are printing gold, literally buying that recipe every single time it pops up, and all they have to do from a botting perspective is get a character to Everlook and stand there and enable the botting program. It is ridiculous. Apart from that, on the PvE server, there are 2 types of popular bots, I would say, and number 1 is a hunter bot, where either they are farming 1 by 1, or you will even see a hunter group, so like a train of hunters just killing mobs together, and then looting together as well. So they will, for example, quest in Elven Forest, I saw them in Westfall, just a bunch of hunters with regular, like a boar, named Boar, and you saw it very easily on their movement, the way they moved. They were going in a straight line, and then in another direction, the straight line, and every single time they pull a mob, by the way, they will backpedal a little bit. So they will pull a mob, backpedal like 5 steps, and then start attacking, and doing this every single time they pull a mob as well. So hunter bots are very easy to see, and I've seen them pretty much all over the place. They are both questing and farming mobs as well, and just doing regular botting gameplay, I would say, and it's very harmful. It's very sad to see as well, because at the start of the launch of the servers, the fresh servers, I actually saw, like, we saw game masters. They spawned in pretty much all over the place. We actually had game masters again, or at least so it would seem. I never saw them personally, but people saw them all the time. And for example, there was suddenly a level 35 warrior online that nobody had seen before, when the other world first person was level 29. So like 29 world first speedrunner, by the way, and then suddenly a level 35 warrior showed up on the /who list. So like, it seemed like game masters were spawning in all around the place just to like show their presence, but where are they now? Because I've seen some bots level all the way to level 60, and yeah, I've been keeping track. So popular bot number 1 is you will typically see a hunter bot in the open world doing open world farming and questing, and then you have the mage bots as well. They are botting dungeons. So for example, they can bot inside stockades using a certain glitch that I've covered before in Season of Discovery and Classic Fresh, or Classic WoW back in the day, so we already have videos showing you how they do this, and the fact that they do this. They just no-clip through the ground and then go through the wall and pull into the next room. And they do this, and then they pull them back and blizzard everything. So you can see exactly how they do this. They go through the ground, they can loot chests and stuff, and basically pull everything in one pull, and then use a botting program. They can literally level from level 20 to about 30 something in stockades, botting, and making a bunch of gold while doing so. And then at level 30 plus, they can start going to Scarlet Monastery and do the same, and at level 40 plus, they can go to Sulfarak and once again do the same. Now, I was scouting Reddit today and I found a post about botting. Somebody shared a video, and it's from Mad Skills on the hardcore server. And this is the video, by the way, and there will be a link down below, so you can go and check that link to see the entire video as well, without me, like, talking over it, basically. But this is the video right here, and we're gonna watch it right now. This is our last chance to remove these bots on hardcore. So this is botting on the actual hardcore servers. Let's check this out. Let me just fit this to the screen. There we go.
Yo, what up boys? So, today I want to give you a quick update on the wanted poster video that I did about 10 to 15 days ago. And there were 6 paladins, actually there were a few more, but I listed 6 paladins that was excessively botting in Hinterlands at the time. 2 of those bots has been banned ever since, and the reason why I know they have been banned is because shortly after I released the video, I received some in-game mails from Blizzard that action has been taken against 1 or more of the players that I've been reporting, and I haven't seen some of those Paladin online ever since. However, 4 of them are still going strong, and they have been doing that for the past 10 days.
Oh no.
I have been fucking with them for all 10 days. I have tried to get, maybe I have 200 or 300 attempts at trying to kill them in Felwood, but I haven't been successful. They have been farming in Felwood right here from 52 to 54, farming wolves and the bears. And from 54 to 56 right here, also killing wolves and bears. And now they're at the last stretch from 56 to 60 in this area right here, and you guessed it, farming wolves and bears. Now, the reason why I can't kill them is because they have 4 different parts in their avoidance script. The first one is, if I kite any mob which is not a wolf and not a bear and not a mob that they are currently engaged to, close to them, they will bubble and they will run away. And they will run all the way to the vendor, they will lock out for 10 minutes and reset their lair. Now, that's the first part.
So you're trying to kill these bots, and on the hardcore server as well. I mean, hey, fair play. But they're botting on the hardcore server, and they're paladins, and they're level 58. That is crazy, man. That is like
2,
actually
3,
crazy.
and 4 is using only wolves and bears, because I realized that you cannot use any other mobs. If I manage to use distracting shot and kite either a wolf or a bear that they are currently engaged to into other mobs, they will fight them. But if they get low enough and into a sticky situation, they will then use their bubble and run away.
Okay.
Now, when the bubble is on cooldown, sometimes they run to the vendor to reset, other times they continue on farming. If they continue on farming, this is where I've gotten a little bit further. Then I will do the exact same thing. I will kite wolves and bears onto them, and I will manage to get them low once more. But then, because they're paladins, they will now use BOP, and they will run away. This is the second step. If I have gotten even past this step, sometimes they run to the vendor and reset, but other times they actually continue on farming. And this is where I've gotten my most, like the attempts where I've gotten the furthest. When they now continue on farming with bubble on cooldown and with BOP on cooldown, if I replicate the same thing, getting wolves and bears onto them, they will now use a health pot and start to run away. If they get low after the health pot, they will use lay on hands and continue on running away. After this has happened, they will go to the vendor or even all the way to Darnassus, lock out for a full hour until lay on hands, bubble, and BOP is off cooldown, and then they will go back and continue on farming. After 200 to 300 attempts, I've come to the realization.
The insane part here is that, and this feels bad to say, but those bots are better than like 90% of hardcore players. Like, they die. Like, hardcore players, a lot of them die. These bots are level 58 and 59. One of them was level 53, right? That is crazy. But then again, they're playing paladins, right? So they have the free card. if they ever get in combat, or like if anything goes bad, just bubble them and run away. And apparently they can run away and that will reset the leash on the mob, so like they will go away, right? I didn't think bubble lasted long enough to the point where like leash, the mobs would like go away. I thought it would be on you for a while longer, but I guess bubble is like long enough to the point where they will survive anything. Because even this guy, he pulls more mobs onto them, and they just bubble and run away, and they're always fine. That's kind of crazy. And then, if bubble is on cooldown, they also have, Bop, Blessing of Protection they can use instead, which is bubble as well, so double bubble, and then they can use lay on hands. And they even have potions. Whoever coded this, well played. But I'm also very sad at the same time. Like, all you would need here is an actual game master looking at these paladins, and you would know exactly what's going on. This, if he had the power to ban the bots, there would be no bots on the hardcore server. And I'm just gonna say, I'm playing Horde on hardcore, right? Botting is a problem there as well, but we don't have paladins. Paladins can bot all the way to level 60 and never be in danger if coded correctly. Any other class doesn't have that. The only bots that I see on the Horde side are hunter bots, and they are in trouble at all times. For example, if a mob, if they start pulling, and then a mob or two spawns right behind them, they can die. They can be in trouble right there. Now they do have Feign after a while, so at a high enough level they get Feign. And I've seen quite a few hunter bots, by the way, on the Horde side, so botting is definitely a problem on the Horde side as well for the hardcore servers, but I believe it's way more of a problem on the Alliance side. I mean, with these paladins, they're almost level 60, and they're botting. That's crazy.
I will not be able to kill these guys. Now, I need your guys' help. I never ask for likes, comments, subscriptions, following Patreon, or giving me money or anything. I've never asked you for anything. This is the one and only time where I will ask you guys to help me. The only thing that I need you guys to do, if you're a Horde or Alliance on Soulseeker, the hardcore official server, the fresh server,
is
go to this spot right here and report the bots. They are online all the way through the night. They log on in the evening EU time, and then they will continue on farming all the way through the night until midday the next day.
Yep.
Right here's where they're farming the wolves and the bears. If you agree to help me, just run to Felwood and report these 4 bots right here I will put on the screen. Any of those 4 names. I hope that I will wake up in 1 or 2 days from now with an in-game mail from Blizzard and saying that action has been taken against one or more of the bots that I've been reporting.
I hope so as well.
If you have, if enough people report them, Blizzard will have to do something about it. This will be my last resort, because I'm afraid they will hide away in either Stockades or in Scarlet Monastery whenever they reach 60. Just like we saw on Stitches. And then they are untouchable. They will farm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That right there on Stitches. But on the Horde side as well, we see so many hunters making it to level 60 on hardcore. The highest one, like I'm level 37 on the Shaman, right, so I don't see level 60s yet, because they're doing different content than I am. But I saw a level 40 hunter yesterday who was very bot-like, to the point where he pulled mobs one by one, which that's not a huge red flag, but every time he pulled a mob, he backpedaled 5 steps. Every single time. So he pulled a mob, would backpedal 5 steps and start auto-attacking, and then do the same thing on the next mob, no matter how close or the far away, by the way, the mob was. The hunter had to go into the exact same range. So if he pulled the mob from too far away, the hunter would then go into melee and then backpedal. And yeah, like every single time, the bot seemed to like have to be X amount of yards away from the mob himself. So he would go to melee, backpedal 5 steps, pull a mob, go to melee, backpedal 5 steps, and just keep doing this on repeat. Every single time. The exact same amount of like distance between him and the mob. It was very sus, let's just put it that way. And from that screenshot and from playing on Stitches myself, we saw a bunch of level 60 hunters, which was very obviously botting.
For the remaining, they will bot for the remaining part of the server's lifetime.
Yep.
Please guys, go report them in Felwood, and thank you guys for watching.
I am very interested to see an update on this video and see what happens to those paladins. And it's sad to see that it's happening on the hardcore server. Like if any of the servers would be less botted, that would be the hardcore servers. Because while leveling, for example, you can't spam dungeons. What mages can do and hunters can do while leveling on PvE and PvP is they can just spam dungeons, and by doing so, they are at less risk of getting banned because less people see them, right? All you do is you see them when they go out of the instance and go back in. So for the most part, they are quote-unquote invisible or untouchable. But on hardcore, they are, first of all, if they ever die, it's over. And also, while leveling, you can only do each dungeon once per day. So you can't even dungeon farm. They have to find a place in the open world and farm there instead, which also means they can't use their Lua unlockers to get under the ground, to get through like objects, as they can in dungeons, for example. They can't really do that in the open world, right? So they are more at risk. But we still see them all the time. So if you see any bots, like, we have to do our best here since Blizzard are not doing their best, and reporting bots does help, by the way. I just wish we had more active game masters looking at these problems and solving them on a daily basis. It's even more sad because I do really believe that we had the game masters on day 1 and day 2, basically the first week of these fresh servers, because we saw those random people teleporting in. I even heard people that said that there was a game master shooting like, what's it called? Fireworks in Goldshire. Just a lot of fireworks on day 1, when everyone was like level 1 and 5. So we just saw people like that in the game, and now we don't see that when we need them. I don't know. Either way, botting is a problem, and I've experienced it so far on both the PvE server and the hardcore server, and that video right there shows even more about how much of a problem this could be on the hardcore servers as well. Let me know your experience with botting in the comments down below. I would love to hear more about it, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video and spread awareness of the botting problem. And once again, the link to the video we just watched will be down below in the video description, so go and show some love to that video as well. Either way, that's it for now. Bye bye.